Hi guys, welcome to the second episode of Know Your Tanzania Wildlife with Nishi. But before we start, let's do a quick recap of the first episode. The name Serengeti comes from the Swahili word Siri Ngeti, that means endless plains. Located in western Tanzania, it is one of the largest national parks in Tanzania and certainly its most famous. The park is divided into regional zones: north, south, east, west, and central. Serengeti is home to numerous varieties of animals. Here, one has a great chance to see the big five: lion, elephant, rhinos, buffalo, and leopard. Interestingly, the reason they are called the big five is because they are the most dangerous animals to hunt. They are also extremely vengeful. If a hunter injured one of these animals, it can smell the hunter out even from a camp and kill him. The other reason for the nomenclature is that they are trophy kills: a buffalo for its skull, rhino for its horn, lion for its mane, leopard for its skin, and elephant for its tusks. While spotting the big five is a key attraction, the biggest draw in Serengeti, however, is the opportunity to see the Great Migration. The four animals that form part of the migration are wildebeest, zebras, elands, and Thompson gazelles, with wildebeest dominating the numbers. The rest of the animals, such as lions or elephants, do not migrate as they have their own territories for food. A common perception among people is that migration is only about animals crossing the Mara or the Grumete River, which happens during certain seasons. In reality, the animals migrate throughout the year across the four zones of Serengeti in search of grass and water. If one catches the migration in May, soon after monsoon, this is the time that the animals migrate pole pole through central Serengeti to western Serengeti, close to Lake Victoria. The woodlands of western Serengeti is ideal for mating. One can hear male wildebeest making loud calls to attract females, and even fighting amongst each other to get one. Starting July, the animals with most of the female wildebeest pregnant move northwards by crossing the Grumete River, one of the two river migrations. By August, the herd crosses the Mara River that originates at the Mau Escarpment, a fault scarp along the western edge of the Rift Valley in Kenya, and empties in Lake Victoria. The animals move further north to Kenya and are seen in the Masai Mara region. They start to return to Tanzania in October, although these days the return is happening earlier in September because of climatic changes, and once again cross the Mara River on their southward journey through eastern Serengeti. Locals joke that the wildebeest are actually citizens of Tanzania and go to Kenya for a holiday without a passport. January to March or even April is a great time to see these animals in southern Serengeti. The calving season from February to March almost coincides with the onset of monsoon before migration begins all over again in May. The zebras have their own reason to join the migration. They know that the wildebeest have a great sense of where water and good grass is. If there is a thunderstorm, the wildebeest can sense that it's going to rain and they head in that direction. Now, zebras have excellent eyesight that makes them great pathfinders and enemy spotters. It works for the wildebeest who have poor eyesight and can't spot a threat. Also, zebras are capable of eating the upper and tougher part of the grass. The wildebeest then eats the middle and lower part of the grass, which is much softer. At the tail end of the migration, zebras eat the lowest part of the grass, which again is tough. Thus, it is a symbiotic relationship between the two species. As I deplane, I find my driver cum guide, Humphrey, waiting for me with his powerful Land Cruiser. Humphrey asks me if I'd like to first check into my room or head straight away to see a possible river migration at the Mara River. Any guesses of what I choose? I couldn't have been more correct in my decision, as the moment we head out of the airstrip, we see thousands of wildebeest on the far side of the Mara River, with the Kenyan mountains behind them, approaching the crossing area. The wildebeest are all gathering at a place that they think will be a good point to cross over. Interestingly, a group of wildebeest is called not a pride or a pack or herd, but a confusion of wildebeest. This is because their movements are erratic, essentially because they don't have a leader in their midst. One wildebeest moves in a direction and many of them follow. When a new group arrives, the one that's already there moves towards them as if to welcome them, but then disintegrates and starts moving in different direction. One moment it looks like an army formation ready to attack, and the next they are all running in different directions. This is also why it needs a lot of patience to see the migration. I saw my first migration after a wait of about half an hour, but the second one almost took me 6 hours under the scorching sun. Just when you think that a few of them are heading down the slope to the river bank to cross it, they decide to turn around and go back. It is also extremely difficult to decide the point of their crossing, and I found many vehicles moving from one place to the other, following the movement of the wildebeest. Apart from lack of leadership, the other reason for the delay in crossing is the threat of hippos and crocodiles. As the hippos get a sense of the approaching beasts, they start grunting to ward off threat to their territory that scares the beasts. The real threat, of course, is from crocodiles. The animals back off when they see crocodiles getting ready to attack them. The usual process for crocodiles, especially when the river is deep, is to catch their prey and then push it down till it drowns. By that time, other crocodiles join and they hold each part of the kill and do their death roll to take away their share of the meal. We ourselves wait at a place for some time before we decide to move to another spot, expecting the crossing to happen there. Funnily, the beasts cross at the place we were originally waiting at. We rush back to our original spot and take our position. At the nick of time, they decide to go back, and then they come back again, and this time they cross. Thousands of them. Since the water level of the river has risen post the rains, many of them get swept away. Others struggle between the rocks. The hippos are watching them, making sure they don't stray into their territory. Later, while some of them would get back on track and cross the river, others would drown and would be easy pickings for the crocodiles and vultures. I see many wildebeest wait for their family to join before moving ahead. Those who can't find them even choose to return to the river, cross it, and go back to the other side, ignoring the threat of crocodiles. For me, the cutest moment, however, was to see a male zebra cross over with another of his family member, but only to realize that his partner is missing. He starts braying incessantly and decides not to move ahead without her. His reaction when he sees his partner is beyond words. Soon after, I see a crocodile catch a wildebeest. Crocodiles wait till the migration is in full swing and then start attacking. Many a time, they go at one, miss, and then go at another. Here, the crocodile tries to catch an adult but fails to hold on to it, and then catches its baby. The just escaped yet heavily traumatized adult slowly makes its way back to its group. Another one is not so lucky. The wildebeest is in good grasp of a crocodile. The animal tries its best to break free, but the crocodile is determined not to let go. The hapless wildebeest is now more than half inside the crocodile's mouth, but yet isn't giving up. At this time, while one crocodile holds its back and hind legs steady, another one comes up to grab his head and drown him. The dead beast goes still. With one final jerk, the crocodile twists the head of the animal. As peace regains, the crocodiles make a survey of the area to check for dead wildebeest floating in water and ensure that there are no more of them stuck in the rocks. Satisfied, they take rest, assured of their food for the next few days. They leave their mouths open to cool down and also to have little birds peck out flesh of the kills that are stuck between their teeth. It's now time for the vultures to try their luck at grabbing some of the dead animals. They feed the dead either in water or carry it to land. After the meal, it's time to dry themselves. After an unbelievable day, I decide to check into my camp, the zebra camp, and boy, isn't it amazing. Next day, I plan to explore northern Serengeti a little more and the rest of the wildlife and the ways of life. I learned from Humphrey that zebras live in families. One male has 7 to 8 females, and through their Jacobson's organ, get to understand the sexual appetite of their partners. Some of you would know that zebras have an interesting connection to our daily lives through what we know as zebra crossing. Zebras have flat hooves, so when they run, they cause a lot of stones and rocks to fly around. Therefore, when you see a zebra crossing the road, you slow down to avoid the stones and rocks from damaging your vehicle, which is how the word zebra crossing has come about. We find a single topi, a kind of antelope, watching us intently as if asking us if we've seen her family. There are other antelopes, the springbok or the jumping antelope, pronking its way through. Elands, the male elands are so big that sometimes the Maasai tribe mistakenly claim them to be one of their lost cows. Then there are the helmeted guinea fowls, warthogs, baboons who are omnivorous. They eat flowers, fruits, seeds, and even hunt impalas and small gazelles. One of them was so shy would put an Indian bride to shame. We then come across the majestic giraffes. There are various kinds of giraffes. The ones that you find in South Africa are called southern giraffe. Those in Kenya, reticulated giraffe, and the ones in Tanzania, Maasai giraffe. A male ostrich is strutting along, maybe in search of a partner, a jackal family with many little ones. And then the cat I had never seen before, the cheetah. Looking at him, can't stop wondering that while a cheetah is the fastest running animal, all it preys on are small animals such as gazelles, antelopes, birds and rodents. It's like an IIT graduate running a traditional travel agency. Among the interesting flora is the rock fig tree growing on, yes, a rock. With so much in the bag, we head for a quiet place for lunch. We find an acacia tree and stop there for lunch. The late afternoon clouds bring in a golden hue to this land of endless plain. There is a family of mongoose crossing the road. They move around in a family of 40 to 50. A Nile monitor lizard staying close to its hole lest a vulture swoops down and takes her away for a meal. We go a little close to the Mara river and find a bloat of hippos, some of them grunting, the young ones being playful, and one of them even posing for us. Here is what I learnt about hippos. Hippos are extremely territorial. They are herbivorous and move out of water in the night to feed on grass. At dawn, you see many of them going back to the river. Hippos mark their territory in water, so if they see animals or humans close to their territory, they take it as a threat and attack. Just before sunset, I find a leopard on a rock, taking rest before maybe another night of action. I booked myself a hot air balloon ride, another first for me. My jeep picks me up at 5 in the morning to take me to the launch area. We have people from China, France, Spain and the US in our group. We reach the launch area to find our balloon laid out. While our balloon is being inflated, those of other companies are already in launch mode and take off soon. It's now time for a quick training by our pilot and staff. Time to board and take off. As the balloon gradually lifts up, the basket turns over to its stable position and we stand up to see the crew cheer for us. It is a gentle ride across the endless plain. On the way, we see zebras and wild buffaloes. More of gentle floating in the air, we pass through a few camps and fly over a fleeing confusion of wild beasts, probably soon after the adventurous Mara River migration. After an hour of ride, we start descending. After touchdown, we get ready for a celebratory toast. But hey, there's a little surprise. One of the tourists from China proposes to his girlfriend right there and pops open the champagne bottle. We then head to the balloon company's camp where we are welcomed and served sumptuous breakfast. The atmosphere is so celebratory. The newly engaged couple cut a cake and so does a birthday girl in the group. As I take off from the Kogatende airstrip and look below, I can't but think of the beautiful memories that I have created. All through the flight, I recall my stay there minute by minute till my trance is broken as we land at the Arusha airport. Hope you like the videos on Tanzania wildlife. Thanks for watching.
unwinds, live their stories,